Blessed day to you all, early morning risers for the West Coast and right in the middle of the morning for our East Coast friends. Kimberly Sanders here, and I have the privilege to be on the health hack with Miss Neliza Patterson and dear Meghan Calido. These ladies are a wealth of knowledge, and I get to be here with them today. And I'm going to just turn it over to Neliza, and she's going to take it away. Thank you so much.
Good morning. Welcome to our Health Hack Thursday. My name is Neliza Patterson. I'm a postpartum holistic health and recovery practitioner. I work with moms to really overcome their overwhelm, brain fogs, and exhaustion to reclaim their energy and their focus to get back themselves. I'm also a first-time author to the upcoming book, Decoding Baby Blues and Postpartum Struggles. Today, we're going to be talking about parasite cleansing. It's a very, very important topic because it seems like a lot of people are now doing these parasite cleanse, and they're taking it and buying it from the internet and doing it alone and without understanding the right approach and care that you truly need for your body to be supported when you do these things. We're going to be talking about staying hydrated. You know, hydration is key when you're doing a parasite cleanse to make sure that your body is really, really fueled with all the hydration that you need. Another one is very, very essential, supporting your body with nutrient-dense foods to really have the nutrients to, again, support that gut and your body, because parasite cleansing is really, really rough on your entire body, your organs, your cells, everything. So you want to really, really support your body in every way possible, supporting that gut, making sure that your bowel movements are, being flushed properly, because if we don't do that, then obviously these parasites stay in our body and it gives you that worse symptoms, right? If it's not going anywhere else. Obviously resting is so important, and detoxifying our body completely. So I'm gonna have Meghan take over because she will explain a little bit more. One of the questions that I had that, a client of mine was asking was, what damage does it really do to our body if we're not supporting ourselves during these cleanses? And I know some of the cleanses are could be up to 20 days.
Yeah, it's so important that we're getting, and I'm in a lot of parasite groups from when I was sick, and I had just started learning that everybody has parasites. And it's so interesting because parasites do our bodies a favor. They're eating up all the stuff that our bodies can't get rid of, all the toxins, the heavy metals. When our detox pathways are clogged up, we're creating this acidic environment that the parasites just love, and they're getting all the things we need. And so the whole idea of being able to get rid of them, we're, I don't think, ever going to be completely parasite free, first of all. And we have people that are going through parasite cleanse after parasite cleanse after parasite cleanse, breaking down the body time after time and not taking the time to rebuild it. And that's where trouble can happen. But also, our body needs to be supported when we're doing these cleanses. I see a lot of people that just jump into one, and I have done that in the past where I was like, okay, cell pork, here we go. I'm going to wipe these out. And I will tell you, I would not do that ever again. And when somebody asked me oh, can I use this to flush parasites? I'm like, you really need to be careful. I honestly do not feel like it's something we should do without holding someone's hand that has been through it successfully. There's a lot of issues that come up. I know I struggled a lot with being super tired during that time, Bethany came. I struggled, and it wasn't during the parasite cleanse, it was after the parasite cleanse. And my bowel movements got back off a little bit. And so when we're paying attention to what's going on in the body and when we're getting all that nutrition, like we can use herbs to support our bodies through all that discomfort. But yeah. Oh, we can't hear
On.
you. You were muted.
Okay, sorry. I am so happy that, thank you so much for that explanation. It is very, very important to really support our body with parasite cleansing and what type of parasite cleansing we're doing. We are honored to have Bethany Bosworth with us. She is an amazing registered nurse, colon hydrotherapist, and this is what she does for a living. Really supporting people doing their cleanse and really getting their gut health to where they need to be. She has been such an amazing part of this community, and she's helped me through my issue, what I was going through, and thanks to her it only took 2 weeks to fix what I was going through. And I absolutely love you, so thank you so much for all your support and your guidance and all your recommendation, and thank you for Meghan for that as well. So they supported me through my parasite cleansing and my colonics. So and there was many things that happened, and I was so thankful that I didn't have to go to the doctor or have any other lab, which would have been what would have happened, and they would have not known what was going on with me because it's been an issue that I've had for many, many years. So I'm so thankful to have these wellness community with me, and just all the knowledge and just the support that they continue to give me and the whole entire community. So thank you for being here, Bethany. Meghan just went over, the support of why it's so important to have support in our parasite cleansing, and, what's the damages that they can really do to our body if we're not supporting our body while we do these parasite cleanse. And I've spoken to many that do parasite cleansing quite a lot. They get it from the internet and they're not truly approaching it with care. Do you have any addition to that?
Yes, I just agree. I think it's really wise to get some counsel from a professional or at least somebody that has some really good experience with it, and to know that the detoxing can be intense, and colon hydrotherapy is such an amazing adjunct to the parasite cleanse. And you can imagine when we're talking about these parasites laying millions of eggs, we want those out of us as quickly as possible. So you can be taking the parasite cleanse herbs and such that will kill the parasites, but doesn't it sound good to get them out of the body, so they don't have to be in the body and die off and give off all of those chemicals those toxins that they're giving off while they're dying. So the colon hydrotherapy is amazing. I like to time a colonic at the beginning of a parasite cleanse, halfway through, about 5 days into our 10-day protocol, and then right at the end. That's my perfect scenario for really utilizing colon hydrotherapy to maximize the effects of the parasite cleanse.
I would love to add to that. So there's a lot of parasites that let off a chemical that prohibits those eggs from hatching. And so if we kill off that mama parasite and we don't pulse these herbs, which means to stop them for a minute and then to go back to them, if the mama parasite is dead and she's not letting off those chemicals, those eggs are going to release, and you will have an even bigger problem on your hands. And that's again why we're pulsing these herbs, so that we can kill the adult and then stop and let our bodies heal for a minute and then go back in and kill the rest of them before they're multiplying. And I've seen people get into a real problem when they start that first parasite cleanse and they don't follow through with the second one.
Yeah, and that's why I love our method, the step-by-step methods that we use, because it's 10 on, 20 off, 10 on. And then during the other times, we're supporting our body with the right nutrients to really, really make sure that we have all that we need during this time. And we're really cleaning out and flushing out even just the toxins out of the body so we can hold on to those nutrients when we are eating the right foods. And for those who doesn't know Meghan, I'm sorry I didn't really introduce you earlier. Meghan Calido is an amazing herbalist. She has her own herbal store. She is an aromatherapist, and she is on her way to be a regenerative health practitioner and many other credentials that I just can't even list, because I like to call her our knowledge gypsy. I feel like she just knows everything. I just love to kind of open her up and ask her any questions that I have. And today we are here with Kimberly Sanders, our beautiful earth angel, detox specialist, and really the guru of all gut health. So Kimberly, did you want to add anything to that? And welcome.
I love it. This has been, decades of cleansing. I started as a child because I was allergic to wheat, sugar, soy, dairy, all of it. And so the lifestyle that we guide people into, I've been living this for decades. And in my early 20s, I was doing, all the different cleanses that are available back in the day. And back then I just started realizing, like, well, if this is a cleanse and you're eating like this, why would you go back to putting stuff into you? And so it's been just decades of fine-tuning the addictions and the things that, like, we're just sold so easily. And it's not easy to live a lifestyle of just eating the purest food on the planet. Like, people want to eat chips, you want to have crackers, you want to go out to dinner with your friends, you want to do all these things. But luckily, I chose to be plant-based at 9 years old, and I had all those food allergies. I was already not eating dairy. And so to be able to come into all of this in my mid-20s, I became a raw foodist, and I was eating superfoods back then. And so to be able to have a wealth of these beautiful people like yourselves, and then all these health practitioners and regenerative health practitioners, and that I am so fortunate to have found a company that works with regenerative farming practices that has the only product on the market that actually removes glyphosate. Now, when I was being a raw foodist and eating all these superfoods back then, we weren't doing it to basically stay alive. It was just the next level of being plant-based and vegan and raw food. But come to find out now, in the last 15 years, the types of poisons that we now have to address it's literally like a life and death type of matter, where there's so much obesity, there's so many toxins, there's all these microplastics, there's all of the Roundup that's being sprayed. And there's now on the internet, everyone's going to see that there's so many parasite cleanses out there, like we're saying. But the thing is that if you are just doing a parasite cleanse and then just going back to all the stuff that you just did prior to it, it's like, what is even the outcome? 3 steps forward, 10 steps back. And so I'm just thankful that the dedication that I've had for the past 40 something years is there, and I can be this space. And then I have all of you with all of the education and the depth of wisdom and the ways that you've needed to learn all these things in order to heal yourself. Meghan, your story is amazing that you have, released mold toxicity and healed yourself on every single level. And I get to watch everybody feel the best they've ever felt and be the best versions of themselves. And Bethany has had her center, but when I got to come to her, it's like, we're all working so much that it's like, who are we allowing to feed us? What hands are preparing the food that we're just like barely getting into us throughout the day? And so that's why I'm so grateful that we have the tools from this beautiful company, and we get to have nutrition coming in to us to our doorstep in plastic-free, home compostable packaging with the farming that is going to actually have the most nutrient value. And so, you know, a lot of times people say, well, I only eat real food. I don't like these packaged products that you're trying to sell me. And it's like, well, where is your real food coming from? Because if it's not coming from a farm where they've actually allowed it to grow all the way till peak ripeness, and then they harvest it. And what we get to do is we do that. We allow it to grow all the way till peak ripeness. We're juicing it. We're live dehydrating it. So we're keeping all the enzymes in there. And then we talk to juicers, which I did for decades as well. And you're spending hours upon hours. Most of that food is going to rot in your fridge. It's already been sitting on the shelf for weeks on end. It was like picked early, driven in a truck across countries, and now it's sitting on the grocery store shelf, which is beautiful because we still need to have fiber. We still need to have chewable food. And then you get it to your fridge, you chop it up, and then you juice it. And yes, you're going to feel better drinking that juice than eating Chipotle or eating a hamburger or eating whatever. That's really lovely. But what we have here, again, is the ability to start detoxing the body, removing the glyphosate, removing the heavy metals with chlorella and all these other beautiful things that I've been loving, again, for decades. And then we get to have the only third-party tested, proven product on the market that is actually removing glyphosate. And glyphosate is Roundup, the weed killer. It was used in World War II to remove the minerals in pipes. And then they decided to have the Green Revolution. And so they took all the chemicals to be spraying on the crops so that they could harvest them sooner. And all of that creates leaky gut, which creates all these different autoimmune disorders. And I'd love for Meghan to touch on just the different autoimmune disorders that glyphosate is offering because of putting the micro tears in the gut lining.
I don't even think I can name everything because this falls under epigenetics. And epigenetics is like, it's not a genetic mutation that we were born with. It's the way our DNA is responding because there's so many toxins. And even the CDC has said that epigenetics are absolutely reversible. And epigenetics are going to be all of your autoimmune disease, cancers, lupus, and like all MS, like all of these things that just get turned on, and they get turned on because the environment in our body is so acidic that our DNA stops responding the way it should, and things get mutated that way. And then we have these cells that aren't getting nutrition, that are dividing and multiplying themselves in the same messed up way that they got because the environment was not amazing. And so I do think it's super important when we're on this parasite cleanse to remember what we are doing and what we're wanting to do. The object, like a parasite cleanse, is not the end game. The end game is cleaning the terrain of the body, to making sure that it is inhospitable to parasitic activity, and to keeping those parasites in a balance where they are doing their job the way that they're supposed to, and they're not overrunning the whole system. And so when we clean up the terrain and the lymphatic system is nice and clean, and your organs are able to, your kidneys and your liver are able to release what they're supposed to release from the system, the blood can get clean. And if the blood is clean, then we can get in, if the blood is clean, our cells can get in nutrition and excrete the waste the way that they're supposed to, and then they can be healthy. And then we create this environment in our body where parasitic activity is just not allowed to happen. And I think that the best thing that we can do for this is that nutrition. Like, our body needs so much nutrition, and when we're experiencing die-off and all that, I've done it without the nutrition. It's not good. It was weeks in bed and months of trying to get my gut back on track. Whereas this one that we're speaking of is just super gentle. My elimination pathways were already opened, starting with the biomedic and putting all the nutrition in. my elimination pathways were open. So all the junk is able to move out in the way that it should. Yeah, I don't know if I missed anything.
That was perfect. And so it's just so important to think that when you are, I love that you said, this is just literally the bare bones. Like when people are like, oh, when we talk to people, this is a 90-day journey. And so many people are like, oh, I can't do 90 days. And it's like, okay, so let's work with our mindset then, because most of what we are doing with our clients is a mindset training so that we can work through our food addictions and all these different soothing methods that's been happening since we were children. The mouth is the first soothing method of our lives. We're nursing, which obviously we need to do, but then people put pacifiers in their baby's mouth, and then it's a toy, and then it's sugar, and then it's all these different distractions through life to soothe our traumas as humans. And so our work is so much bigger than what just selling a ultimate lifestyle transformation and walking you through a parasite cleanse. We're looking deep into, childhood trauma. We're looking deep into our soothing methods, our habits. And that is why we have this community and why we bring you through with this a beautiful community to be able to share recipes and be able to have you really see there's no end goal. It is a vision of new life and new ways of treating yourself and having self-love systems come in and self-care systems come in so that we can really function as a beautiful like homeostasis within our own being. And once you really realize that the body is released the heavy metals from the brain and the plastics from the brain, we're detoxing these bodies, we get to be our original selves. And we can detox vaccines, we can detox all the different microplastics. And like, again, this journey that we're inviting you on, it's literally the first step. And the ladies that I get to have on this team with me, I know that they're dedicated. They're not just like, oh, I just am going to try that for some, short amount of time. It's like, I know that they're dedicated. And like, I was just talking to Meghan the other day, and like, she's like, I'm learning all of this. And then I get to listen to another recording and listen to it again. And we're just so dedicated and inspired to remove the man-made poisons from our bodies so that we can be the original makeup of what this earth is and what the waters are. And that's another thing, is getting our bodies truly, truly hydrated and really learning about the waters that we're partaking in and how that can really be something that is otherworldly. Like, I just saw another form of understanding of, like, there's this beautiful woman, I wish I knew her name, but when you show water an image and freeze it and take it out right before it's completely frozen, it literally has the image imprinted in it. And we know with Dr. Emoto, his work, when he took the pictures of the water, being able to have it be love, or if you shared like something horrible with the water, it would be all disrupted and not okay. And that is us. We are made of so much water. And that's, again, why this food is so amazing, because we're having so much liquid light come into us. We're having the food that having the most sunlight in it. Chlorella has the most light captured in it. And we are what we absorb, but we are what we eat as well. So, and what we are not what we get to be detoxifying. So there's so much that we could keep saying, but I know that Bethany, you had a huge, just aha moment when you were like, wow, I'm helping so many people. I'm helping them detox. I'm helping all of this. And now you have all these tools to offer your clientele. And I just am so grateful that you have come into this. And Neliza, I'm so thankful that you're here sharing this with everyone. And it's so beautiful. So Bethany, would you like to share anything else? I just am so grateful to have this moment with everybody.
Well, this practice of self-care was something that I had never experienced for myself. And so I'm so grateful for you for guiding me into it. And I just knew immediately that this was something that I needed to share with my clients. And it has really helped me to expand my practice. Any professionals that have their own practice and they're dealing with their clients one-on-one, and they are wishing that they could really help them to just be more compliant with the practice that is required to maintain health, and looking for simple tools. And it's a no-brainer for me to offer this to my clients and to myself. So I'm very grateful for this company, for this community, and for all of the modalities that I get to now offer my clients. Beautiful.
Yeah, I want to touch base on that. I mean, when you talk about, adding it to our practice, this was the missing link in my practice. I help moms all over, and one of the things that I knew was nutrition was essential, but I didn't have the right tools, and now I do, and I've experienced it myself because I was that mom. I work with moms all the time about energy depletion, and you get overwhelmed, and sleep deprivation, and I was going through that, and I was extremely healthy, or so I thought, but yet I had these symptoms and I knew they were not normal. However, I didn't have the right tools to really support my body the way it needed. And at the end of the day, it was nutritional depletion rather than energy or sleep deprivation. It was all about nutrition, and I was lacking the nutrition in my body, no matter how much food, organic raw food I was eating, no matter if I was not eating out. I mean, I did everything that I thought I was doing correctly, and yet I was still having those symptoms. I hear it all the time with many moms that I deal with. A lot of moms who are fitness coaches, they go to the gym, they take care of themselves, but yet again, those symptoms of depletion of energy and lack of sleep and overwhelm and an irritability comes with that. And I experience every one of them. And honestly, coming into this community and having these regenerative superfoods in my body, I'm like activated fully on a cellular level, and all my organs, even my mouth is having a party. Every time I mix all these superfoods together, I'm just like, whoo, that's a party in my mouth. I love it. So, I thank you ladies so much. I want to close it out. But I love that you get both, all three of you guys are here with us, and your knowledge and skills and expertise is just so beautiful to really put together as a community. I mean, nobody goes alone. Everybody holds hand in hand in any way that we need, any support that we need, even, holding each other through this business together. And I've not experienced anything like this coming from a health and wellness community that I've had before. So I thank you so, so much. I thank you for this wellness community. And if you guys want to join us in this community, it's the best community you could really, really be a part of, because we have so many experts in here, professionals, nurses. I mean, you name it, we have it. And I always say, no question goes unanswered. So thank you again, everyone, for your time and listening to us, and appreciate you ladies so much. And till next time, take care, everybody, and take care of yourself.
Thank you.